Hey guys, welcome to day 10, the very last day of training. I want to show you real quick how easy it is to catch them now. This is obviously the worst case scenario. They're in the big pen, they're together in kind of a herd environment, so they want to run around, they want to be silly, but we'll see how it goes here. So I'm just trying to catch this chunkier one here, and we'll just see if he lets me get up to him and if he lets me catch him. So just taking it slowly, trying not to get him too scared or upset. Good boy, buddy. Come here. Come here, Nugget. Good job. That's clever. Good job. That's brave, Nugget. Good job. I'll just take the little halter and halter him up. So obviously compared to day one where I had to rope him, there was no hope for me to halter him up. And even compared to the last few days, this is really good for him. He's being very, very well behaved and obedient here. So that's kind of the results of working with him every single day on how to be better behaved and to let me catch him and halter him up, and he did really, really well there. Okay. The other one's gonna get haltered in a second too. Wait. Well, let me just catch him too then. Come on, I'll get you. And we'll just go as a family together. So guys, we just went ahead and brought this one in as well, and went ahead and caught him because he was right there, and he's just being really good about catching. Actually, he's better than the other one about catching, which, believe it or not, is still possible. So he just stands there and lets you get him pretty much in any scenario. Yesterday he actually ran away in the big field and I was still able to catch him. So they're both doing really well with the catching part of the day. Just to show you a little bit of progress with the catching from the first day where you couldn't even get up to them to now, they're both letting me get up to them and halter them. Starting out with the rope desensitizing over their back, getting them to stand still and relax with that is very important. They've done this every day, so at this point they should be pretty chilled about it. So he's licking his lips and making his back hoof come up like that. So that's actually double relaxation. Good job. Very good job. Now in front of him real quick. Good job. Okay, and moving on to another exercise here. I want to ask him to back away from me a little bit. There we go. And I want to ask him to go in a circle this way. And ask him to stop. See how he automatically backs away from me a little bit? That's very good. That means he's being respectful and he's respecting my personal space, which is really important. Okay, now go ahead and send him the other direction. So he's being really relaxed. There's a lot of slack in the rope. So that's very good. I'm going to change directions with him. Good job. Change directions with him again. Perfect, that was very good. And stop him. See how he's backing away from me? By himself a little bit automatically. That's very good. Being nice and respectful and polite. Great job. Okay, we're going to send him between me and the fence here. Have him stop, face me. Look how he automatically got into position there. He backed up, he got ready to go the other way. So that's very good. I'll send him through this way. Back up, it's a little too close, but there we go. That's good position right there. And then I can send him through again. Stop him. See how he's backing up by himself? That's great. Send him through, stop him, back him up a little bit here. There we go. Let's do it again. Stop him, back him up. Perfect. Send him through again. Good job. So as long as he finishes at a good distance from me and stands still there, he's actually done a really good job with that exercise. Another thing we've been working on is moving his front end away from us. So when I apply pressure here, that he steps his little front legs across and moves away from me. So see, that's good. That's good. Here we go. There we go. That was a great cross. Front end away, please. There we go. Crossing over his little front legs. There we go. And again, please. There we go. Perfect. And then we've also worked on moving his hind end away from us. So when we tap back here, he can move his hind end around. There we go. Very good. There's definitely room for improvement there, but all I want is that he's grasped the overall concept, because we'll come back later in a year or so when he's older and we'll teach him that even better. But as far as the concept goes, he's definitely got the idea, and he's not being disrespectful, he's not being pushy. He's moving out of the way whenever I ask him to, so that's really good. So we're quickly going to review the backing up exercise that we've taught him. So this is the main one that we've taught him, and the only one that we've taught him fully, because this is the one that people are going to use the most with him. Whenever they have him haltered, they're going to be able to back him up with just light movement of the halter. So that's what you want. You want him to back up nice and quickly with a lot of respect and energy in their feet. So he did it really well there. The only thing that he is doing a little bit wrong, but that's not really a major problem, is he's backing up a little crooked. But that's just kind of, each horse is different. Some of them back up straight to begin with, and some of them back up pretty crooked. So obviously you could help that by backing him up along a fence, or you could just ask him to move his back end around the other way. But for now, I just want him to move back and kind of move back with energy in his feet and respectfully, and then that's pretty good. That's all I'm looking for. So what we're looking for is just him letting us touch his legs, him letting us lift them up, and that he stands still and stays relaxed while we've got a hold of his legs, that he doesn't fight it. See right there, that's perfect. That was very good what you just responded there with that leg. Moving on to the back legs, which are obviously more reactive usually, but this is really good. He's standing still, he let me touch him, let me move him. That's great. Now move over to this leg, over here. Ask him to lift it up by pulling on it gently. Okay, and he didn't even lift it up in an aggressive way yet. So that was very good. There we go. So that's a pass on that leg. Moving on to this leg, which is pinning his ears a little bit, but let me pick it up, let me touch it, let me rub on it. Perfect. So he actually did very well there. He was a little, you could see he was pinning his ears just a little bit, and he was kind of like, don't mess with me. But at the same time, he didn't actually do anything wrong, so good job. So the next thing I'm going to show you is the leading, which we've worked on kind of from day one. We've been teaching him to yield to pressure, and to when we pull on the rope that he has to turn and face us, and all those things were actually very important for him to learn, so that it was the basics and the foundation of leading. So when it comes to leading with him, he's doing pretty well. He's being a little pushy, but he's doing really well as far as respecting the halter pressure, as far as staying with me. If I stop, he stops. If I go back, he goes back. He's supposed to. That's pretty good. Okay, so this kind of basic general leading where he respects the pressure on his head. He listens to when you pull back and ask him to stop, or when you stop, and he goes back when you go back, as long as you wiggle the rope a little bit. So that kind of basic general control of him with the halter is very, very handy, and it's going to help him throughout his whole life that he's good at this. So both sides, he's learned it. And like I said, he's a little bit pushy, so I just have to keep my fist out a little bit towards him so he doesn't crowd me. But at least he's not being crazy. He's respectful of the pressure on his face. And if I stop, he stops. If I go again, he goes again, that kind of thing. I'm not having to pull on him. I'm not having to drag him. He's not dragging me. So this is a really big improvement from what we had when we first started, which he'd never been properly introduced to the halter. So I think he did really well with that exercise just now. So the last thing that we've taught him over the last few days has been how to be tied up, obviously. So we've got the tie ring here just in case he pulls back, but you'll notice when I move away from him and I just leave him, he relaxes, he comes closer to the point of pressure, and he is very, very respectful of the pressure at the tie ring and just being tied up in general. So if I come back over here and I try to get him to the end of the pressure, to the point where it's pulling on him, watch how he'll feel it, but then he'll come back, kind of like a yo-yo. So that's what you want. You want them to be so good at tying up that when they feel the pressure, they come back. They don't pull back and lean on it and go crazy. Instead, they relax, they come forward, and that's what we're looking for. So now it's completely safe to tie him up with a halter. Okay guys, so the last thing that I want to quickly work on and remind him not to be crazy about is when there's pressure behind his butt here. Because you remember the other day he tried to kick me and he was pretty disrespectful about it. So what I want to be able to do, this is the goal, right? To walk behind him without him kicking me. So be able to change sides, be back there for a little bit, stroke on him, and that he's not going to kick me. See him kind of bumping into me and being disrespectful. So I'm going to move his front end and say, hey, move away. Thank you. Okay, so the best thing I can do for this is going to be to stroke him as much as possible from here, where I'm in still a safe place. So you can see him kicking out. He's being disrespectful. He's pinning his ears, whatever. That's all part of it. This is just things that we still have to get him used to, apparently, okay? So you see how he's really pinning his ears, swishing his tail. He's like, hey, I don't like this. I don't like that you're touching me, messing with me. So this is kind of the final frontier with him, because this is something that he's really upset about. He doesn't like. But we have to get him used to it, otherwise it's not a job well done. So just touch him back here. Let him get used to being touched back here, because he just doesn't like it when people mess with him. Now, he's obviously a pony, and his mom is completely crazy. So I'm not surprised that he has some places that he doesn't like to be touched. I'm not surprised that he's being reactive and disrespectful a little bit. So I just want to stroke him and walk from side to side. So I'll stroke him here, stroke him, walk across. So why am I doing this? Well, it's going to help him to not be able to focus on which leg to kick me with. And it's also going to just let him know that when I'm behind him, it's not a negative thing. That when I'm behind him, it can be a nice thing. And I'm just stroking on him, being nice to him. So I'm just going to walk behind him again. I might bump into him a little bit with my side to just kind of relax him, let him know that I can be back here, I can touch on him. See how he's pinning his ears the whole time? Well, honestly, that's just kind of his attitude towards me being behind him, so I can't really help that. What I want to do though is get him really used to his hind end being touched, which he's already getting much better at right now than he was the other day. The other day he would have already kicked me 7 times. So this is great, and my goal is to just stand behind him and stroke him. So let's see if we can just slowly build up to that. So I'll just go behind him here, stroke on him, and every time I go past him, I can make it a little bit slower. So I can just take a little bit more time going past both sides, stroking on him. Just go a little slower each time until I'm gonna actually just stand back here and stroke on him. Okay, so like right here, I'm right behind him, I'm stroking on him, I'm touching him. I'm not gonna take it too far because I don't want him to actually kick me because it would hurt a little bit. But what I wanna do is just get him used to me being back here. By walking back and forth, you're distracting him. He doesn't know which leg to kick me with. He probably doesn't know which leg to kick me with anyway because he missed me the other day. But this is helping him not to focus on the fact that I'm behind him because I'm only behind him for a second. So obviously he has a bit of a sorry attitude about the whole thing and he's not being very nice about it, but at the same time he is letting me stand behind him now and stroke on him. So I think we've definitely progressed and he's definitely a lot safer than he was before. So guys, as the final thing that I want to teach the little foals, I like to wrap the rope around them and let them feel the halter pressure and do a little spin like this. And this just helps just in case they get the wrong way around or they get confused about where they're supposed to go. Let's say that they jump to one side and the halter goes the other way. So this exercise helps a lot with that. It's also great because it teaches them not to follow what you are doing, which I'm standing in front of him. He has to actually follow his nose and where that's pulling him and go around that way. So this is a great little thing that you can teach them. It's a lot of fun. And then they have to follow their nose and what the halter's telling them, not what I'm telling them, which with me standing in front of them, it would seem like I would pull them forward or pull them towards me. Instead, I'm pulling them around from a different side and they have to follow that pressure. Good job. So it's very different to what they think it's going to be because I'm standing in front of them. So let's see, there we go. So he's following that pressure really good. He's respecting the halter. And that's very, very well done. All right, so day 10 has gone really well. He's gone through a lot of exercises. He's learned a couple new things, but I think overall he's done extremely well and he's definitely passed on most of the exercises with flying colors. So thanks for watching guys. We'll see you in the next video.